Welcome back. This is Karen from Liongate Farm, and we are continuing our journey on Felton Elf. Today we are going to get him dressed. He has to be dressed before you can put on his hands because they won't fit down these sleeves. So today is multimedia project. It involves some sewing because we're going to sew his little undershirt here on the sewing machine. You can sew it by hand if you want, but I'm going to do it the fast way. Then we're going to felt his vest, and we're going to make a little collar that we're going to put on him later. Notice I didn't get that far. And then this is a great time of year to buy ribbon. And I got this sparkly ribbon and this little jewelry. If you go in the jewelry section, you can get these little findings. So I'm going to loop his belt through here. I just wanted you guys to see as far as I've got. My little undershirt's too long. We're going to trim that off. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's way long in the back. Way long in the back. And this isn't quite felted all the way because I was lax because we were installing our lawn. So come with me on the journey of building an elf. We're getting to the hands and the face. We're almost done. So let's build this elf. Step one, we're gonna dress him in a shirt. So I'm using some ribbing, some white lightweight ribbing out of my stash that I had. I like it because it's stretchy. And you're gonna measure his arm, like from his shoulder, and we want it to go down to the bottom. We're gonna want it to go all the way down to the bottom, and you want it a lot because we're gonna make poofy sleeves. Later on, we're going to make some poofy sleeves there. So you want 2 pieces, you'll measure your arm, and then you need a wide piece, nothing fancy, for the inside of his shirt. Now, if you are a seamstress, you're going to know that I am, what do I want to say? There's better ways to do what I'm showing you. But this is the cheat way. So you're going to find center of the neck of this. Crummy scissors, and we're going to just cut a hole for his head. You will understand why we're doing this first before we put on his hands when we try to put this shirt on him. This is going to involve some machine sewing and some hand sewing, both ways. Okay, so I'm going to take these pieces into the sewing machine. Wait, one thing I want to show you first. Hold on. So put this on his head. This is why I like the ribbing, because it stretches. You get it over his head. I know this is a little awkward. And kind of figure out how far we want these sleeves to go. Well, you know what I didn't bring? Can you hand me that pencil? Make a little mark here. Just gonna make a little mark here, just so we know where the sleeve's gonna go, and then take this off. So now we're gonna move to the sewing machine for just a moment. All right, our first job is going to be to sew the sleeve on. Remember, it's stretchy, so kind of find center, and we want the centerpiece to line up with that neck hole. You know, you never knew you'd be felting or sewing on my felting channel, right? So I'm gonna stick a pin in, and I'm gonna stretch this down to that line. I like these pins better. They're super sharp. And then we're just gonna sew right along here. And I'm sorry in advance, my machine is not quiet. I have an old-fashioned analog machine, a very scant 1/8 of an inch, just to the edge of your pressure foot. Just make sure you're catching both pieces. I'm gonna back up and lock it and cut it. Take that out. Okay, so we have that one on. Now let's put the other one on. So by putting it that way, this is the outside of your shirt. Think about your t-shirts when you wear them. So again, let's find the center mark, line it up with the center of the neck hole, You guys, I sew these little clothes by the seat of my pants, obviously. I just cut them out and go. I've had to redo them sometimes. All right, so I want this to go down as far as the one on the other side. I need a pin. Get in there. See, and I'm glad you can't see this. My sewing machine sits way up high since I can't move my neck. It's really weird. It's not like a normal human's sewing machine. All right, same thing. We're going to do a scant. See how I'm stretching it out so that the bottom piece matches the stretch in the top. If you are doing a fabric that does not have stretch in it, it would have to be a little bit different than this. Okay, so got this. Why is that green thread there? Okay, so now, right sides together, flip it over. See, look, we have a little shirt. So we're gonna start at where the cuff would go. The other cool thing about using knit is you don't have to hem this because it's not gonna fray. Again, scant 1/8 of an inch seam. And you're gonna think I'm crazy, but we're only going right past the armhole. So one sleeve sewn. Sew the other one. It's like making a t-shirt. You know, if you had a serger, you probably could do this too. For those of you that have sergers. And then it would be really finished. But you don't need to. I mean, you're not going to see most of this shirt. Because true confessions, I do not have white bobbin thread in there. I have blue. Just going to go past the armhole again. All right, let's go back into the other room. Okay, so you sewed your shirt, so now we're gonna turn it right side out. It's like doing laundry. Let's turn the sleeves right side out. Don't worry, we're almost done sewing. And now you're gonna put it on him. So, it's like dressing a doll. It really is. You know, the cool thing about felted dolls is that they squish. So sometimes you can get things on them that are tighter. The reason I don't sew the sides is because it's just way easier. We're gonna hand sew those. So let's put his hand in there. So if we had a hand on this guy, it wouldn't go through the sleeve. It would not. It just wouldn't. It's like dressing a little Barbie doll. Fun fact, I never had Barbie dolls. I had Matchbox cars. Isn't that funny? I had Matchbox cars. Did not have Barbies. And hockey skates. All right, let's see how this is a little tight. It would have been really hard to get on him. Dude, keep your head facing the right way. All right. So we did good, but now we want these sleeves extra long because we're gonna, after his hands are on, we're gonna push them up so that they're all floofy like this. But one of the things we wanna do is take our pinking shears, if you have them. That'll give us a ruffly edge. So make sure you go past the wire of your hands, obviously, and just clip off that edge. And then let's look at how far his shirt came. So I'm gonna try and get this guy's right compared to the other guy. I'm gonna fold this in half. Ooh, that was a weird noise. And I'm just gonna cut like a little half circle. I have a feeling I still need to go shorter. It depends. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little shorter. Depends on how long we make the vest is what we can always trim off more later. So let's take off like another 3/8 of an inch. But you notice I'm going up to the sides. So I want the sides to go up. Now we're going to compare the back to the front. Oh yeah, I think that's the right length. And let's just fold this in half, just like I did there. This is the middle, so it's the longer part. We took off about 1/2 inch. We're going to curve it up. Let's see if they match. It's going to be pretty close. Now this stretches this way because of the way I did it, because it's easier to hand sew what we're going to sew onto it when it stretches that way. So if you have your needle and thread, you are going to knot it. Maybe. I lost one. I know you guys cannot see what I'm doing right now. I'm knotting the thread. Everybody has their own way of doing that, so I won't talk about that. Let's put that over there. And all we're gonna do, and this is not conventional, again, there's better ways to do this, is I am just gonna close this up. With a whip stitch. Just closing it up. So basically I'm sewing them into his clothes. I'm not catching the felting underneath. But do you see how we did not use flesh color under there? It's okay if this gathers up. It's kind of what we want. So I like this to be at the waist of his pants. You know, I'm saying this like I've made a million of these. I really only made one elf like this before, and now I'm making 2 more. So knot it. Let's go to the other side. Hopefully I have enough thread. Get his arm out of the way. I mean, you could be all persnickety and sew this the right way. But if you're using fabric like I am that doesn't fray, it doesn't really matter. Just whip stitch it in. I mean, our goal, it's not going to show. No one's going to see it. The only person that knows about it is you. Unless somebody really undresses them, but they won't be able to because they'll be all felted together. Now, I see a little problem here, and I'm going to solve it. So that doesn't meet that, so let's just cut that off. Cut that off. Now it does. Again, it's whatever you want it to look like. You can leave this open if you want. I'm just going all the way down. And again, I'm gathering it up a little bit. So let's, and I just have enough thread. A little knot in there. Trick, when you run out of thread, go backwards and cut it. I am gonna have to thread this again in a little while. All right, so look at that. He's got a little undershirt, and we will gather this up in a little bit. So when we put his hands on, we will move these sleeves way up out of the way to attach the hands. But for now, we're gonna do this. Okay, the next, if you remember, we're using jackpot green. We're gonna do his vest. And this is just a lot of flat felting, but we're gonna create a pattern. We're gonna create a pattern of a vest. I was thinking I should draw what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna just do it. So here's how I do it. I want fringe. And I know I want my vest to come here. And we're going to come down to about his waist because we're going to have a little shirt sticking out. Okay, so we have one piece. And then we know it needs to come under the arms. Again, there's way more technical ways to do this, which involve a pattern piece. So we have that piece. And we know the other side is going to be similar. I think I've used about an ounce and a, well, this is an ounce and a half, maybe 2 ounces of Jackpot Green so far on this elf. So this is the armhole, this is the shoulder seam, and this is the side seam. So now that we know it's kind of going to be that long, we can always add. We're going to go across. We're going the opposite way of what we just laid out. Go all the way up to that shoulder. Because if we go just straight up and down, it's going to take forever to felt. So we need to cross fiber it a little bit. You know, you could always cut a vest out of felt too. It doesn't have to be felted, but I really want it to match his pants. Okay, so now I'm going to secure, that has a little hangover. I'm going to want this to curve up. Side seam. We're not going to felt this right here. Okay, armpit. We're going to felt along the armpit. And some of this may change as we put it on him. So let's make this one look the same. I told you guys this is like my seat of the pants felting. So you can see we have armholes. We have a side seam, and then I'm just gonna sit him on here to make sure it's kind of looking right. It's gonna look way big, and you need to remember that your elf is not flat. You know, he has curves that you have to go around. This is gonna curve around the back. So when you're putting on clothes, you can't just cut it out straight. You have to allow for the curves. So it has extra. And yes, I'm securing this with a single needle right now. It's just my needle of choice. You can use your pen tool. I'll get to that in a minute, but I like to just get this stuff going. And then your multi-tool. This one has 7. You know we're going to have to peel this off the pad. I just let it become attached at first because I don't want to lose my shape. You know, everybody's doll is going to be a different, and it might not be an elf, it's going to be a different size. So that's why I'm showing you this way instead of making a pattern of any kind, because everybody's going to make it different. So you just got to wing it. I feel like this pen tool is faster than the other one, but because the other one has such fine needles, I really want to work. I want this to felt. So let's see how good we are together here. Be careful taking it off. If you just rip it right off, it's going to lose its shape. And we'll flip it over. Oh, not too shabby. See, I got a little bit of fuzz. I'm going to work it in. I'm trying to work these little armhole seams smooth. We're going to do a much better job on this guy than I did on the first guy because I was rushing. Because Cannon's like, I'm on my way. And I'm like, I'm not Done. By doing them side by side at the same time, you're pretty sure that both armholes, a nice little curve, are going to end up in the same spot. So if you heard me say we got our lawn in, it was crazy and it's very exciting. Looks like a totally different house, doesn't it, Cannon? It's amazing.
It looks very nice.
For 5 years, we've had no front lawn. We were supposed to do it in 2022, but some unnamed person fell off the barn and it kind of stalled all the projects. So 3 years later, we finally have gotten to it. Probably would have been way less expensive then too, right? So it's always like one thing after another. So it was supposed to be delivered on Saturday. It came on Friday. I'm telling them a story now, Cannon. Came on Friday and John had worked all night. So when he came home and the lawn is being delivered, he had to continue his work day and install it. Because there's no way I could lift all those rolls. But we called for reinforcements and he had help. So it was good. As you're felting along, you can see it's starting to get nice and firm. This is our little clothing. We're gonna have a little try on. So I like where the armholes are going. And I like that it's gonna come to his waist. And see, we're gonna have overlap. Overlap is always good. So I'm gonna just keep felting this. We'll real time you. Oh, what other excitement do we have? Oh, we almost burnt down again. Did you see that?
No, was there a lightning strike out here or something?
No, it's much more fun than that. Some kids were playing with matches, we believe. Right? It started at a neighbor's house who we know very well. And it burned. Luckily, the wind was blowing the opposite way, really close to Michelle. Like 2 properties down. Yeah, it burned all the way to the far corner over there.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 helicopters. I was watching the helicopters from my back patio going, okay, wind, keep going the other way. It's so dry right now.
It's like 4 out of the 5 years you've been here, there's a fire during the summer nearby.
Well, let's see. We had open chain the first year. And the second year we didn't have anything. Third year we didn't have anything. Oh, wait a minute. No, last year we had 2 things. Last year open chain burned again.
Yeah.
Right across the road. And then Jeffrey, my irrigation guy, started my field on fire. That was exciting. Not. And then now we had this one. It's just like, okay, we are done. So I'm going to work on this edge a little bit.
Hopefully your insurance isn't watching this video.
Huh?
Hopefully your insurance company isn't watching this video.
They better not be. So if you don't like this edge, I'm gonna give you a Canon tip. You can trim all these fuzzies off. Okay, see, Canon will like that. It's all nice and smooth. And then finish it with your single, wherever my single needle went. Oh, it's right here. Just work this in so it's nice and smooth and it doesn't have any fuzzies. You know, as if it was sewn. So this guy's starting to look pretty good, this side. We can trim up the armpit too. Now you could put a pocket on there if you wanted, so you could put a pocket watch. Your elf could have a pocket watch. See, his shirt's just the right size. My other guy's is too long. All right, so we have that. Now let's get the other side done. I still have some fuzzies. Sorry, Cannon, I have fuzzies. Now we're gonna work on this piece. This Jackpot Green Corriedale felt so nice. And as you can see, it felt fast. That's what we want, fast felting. For when we're doing projects like this that are all one color. Now if you want to, if you want to put pockets on there, you could build a little pocket and add it on. Every time I peel it off, I'm very careful to maintain, let's do a fit. Maintain the size. So that one goes there, this one goes here. We are going to want them to overlap a little bit. It's like being a dressmaker for an elf. And we're making a felt pattern instead of a muslin pattern. Yeah, so that was the Thursday evening adrenaline rush. And, you know, we all have that app called Watch Duty now. And it pings your phone and tells you there's a fire. And, you know, if you need to evacuate, who needs Watch Duty when, you know, 13 fire trucks go screaming by the shop here? I was like, okay, we must have a fire. I call over to Michelle's and she goes, where are they going? And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. They went past me. So then we figured it out.
Did you drive down the road and inspect it, or?
John did on his way to work. No, I didn't. I'm not going to be... There was a million neighbors down there anyways.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to be a looky-loo. I don't want to get in the way of anything that needs to happen.
True.
Right? They, there's two big ponds over there. The helicopters were dipping out of the ponds. I was watching them. But they got on top of it. It went right past another neighbor's house because they were wetting her house down, so it went around her house.
Oh wow!
Pretty crazy. She's not young. She's elderly, and she was freaking out. Yeah. Fire in Oregon we have 2 seasons: rain and fire. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Because what is it, 100 outside?
It feels like fire outside, but...
It's 100 outside.
It's like an oven out there.
It's an oven. I feel bad for my chickens because I lock them in the chicken coop at night, you know, so no critters will get them.
Yeah.
And normally I go down at 7. I've been going way later. I mean, it's still 80 degrees, 85 degrees. John moved their perch up though, so it's next to the window. Pretty cute. What else is going on? Oh, we have farm tour coming up on Sunday. I'm trying to get Cannon to come make a video for y'all, but he's going on vacation to a much cooler place. I don't know. Is it cooler there?
Yeah, like Tahoe stays around 80 tops. So 70 degrees is pretty normal.
Yeah, just don't go on a boat and get caught in a storm, okay?
Yeah, they've had some crazy storms recently.
The whole entire U.S. has had some crazy storms. So if you hold this up to the light, and I don't think you guys can see it, I have like a spot right there. It's not super thick. I can see through it. So I'm going to add a piece. Just blend it in here. Again, you're not going to see through it. You're not going to see the white through it. It's just my peace of mind. So kind of hold it up. Make sure everything is knitted together or felted together. We have one more piece to make after this. We had meet up Monday today, and they're like, "Are you making twin elves?" I'm making twins. I haven't decided what they're going to be doing yet. Something definitely with presents, though. So I keep working the edge because I like the edge to be somewhat finished. That looks pretty good. That's got a little bit of I want to have a nice curve. All right, so this piece goes here. This piece, see how it overlaps and goes here. We're gonna tack it, you guys. Let's tack it into the guy. We are, you know, and if you wanted to, you can felt it onto him. I don't like to do that. So let's tack. We're gonna tack these two back pieces. We almost have enough here. So what we need to do, we need a shoulder piece. You want that to overlap. And we're going to come down here. This is how I measure. It's kind of crazy, right? And we know that needs to go to there. I'm going to actually, we need one more piece here. He's going to need a neck. He's going to have hair, so, you know, you're not going to see that. But let's tack this. Tack, 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 tack. Tack, tack, tack. Now I'm going to take that off. Carefully lift up his arms. Undo it. We're going to take this off. And that's going to be our back piece. We know the neck goes there. This goes here. We'll connect those together in a minute. You know, everything gets fluffy. I want this rounded. So notice this comes up in the back. So you've got a curve here. It's not the most graceful way to make a little vest, but like I said, if you're using fabric instead of felt, you know, you're going to have to do conventional sewing on that. But the pieces look very similar. I mean, you would cut a piece out that looks like this and then sew it at the shoulder seams. So you know we went to Black Sheep, right? And my vegetable garden, it has water, but got ignored. It's been ignored while I've been working on the flower gardens. So the last couple of days, I've been mowing my vegetable garden with scissors because it's just a raised bed. Just a raised bed, I say. And I couldn't find all my vegetables. I have unearthed them. They're doing quite well.
Wow.
Got tomatoes, we got cucumbers, there's some green peppers. It's like, hi guys, nice to see you under all this grass. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, sometimes things get ignored while I'm working on other projects like lawn. But it's kind of funny. Kind of funny. I've now found Cannon's weakness. Okay, besides minted chocolates, he likes iced coffee. And I am becoming an expert at making iced coffee in the slushy machine. I think this one's better than the last one that you had.
They're both similar, but they're good to me. I just love anything iced, blended, with coffee in it, or without.
Well, today, my slushy machine failed me because it froze it solid almost. So I had to put it back on frappe. I think I put too much milk. My sugar ratio was off. When it freezes like that, your sugar ratio is off. Kind of like the day oh, what did I do here? Like the day I did margaritas. Okay, is one of my needles coming out? What are you doing? I served margaritas for Meetup Monday. That was a giant mistake. Just because I had to test them. So by 10 o'clock, I was like done testing. I was actually done for the day. 10 o'clock in the morning, that's ridiculous. I don't think I've done that since college. My felting pad is finding all of the things. This is why you should clean your felting pad. Even though I did, I still have little random threads and stuff. So if you wanted to be really fun, you could put like a Christmas tree on the back of his vest if you wanted, or some other kind of design. But remember, he's going to have a belt. So the design needs to go up here, and then who knows how long you're going to make your hair. Okay, so let's do a test fit. Let's see what we got going on here. A test fit. It's looking not bad. All right. So, like I said, you can felt this onto him, and maybe we will do that this time. So I can show you. You can just felt it right on. We're going to finish the neck a little bit. Only felt at the shoulders, though, because you kind of want that loose for when we tie the belt. It's a little awkward. I'm trying to make the neck look good here. Are you playing a game?
No.
No. Just wondered.
Doing a lot of clicking, though.
You are doing a lot of clicking. That's why I thought maybe you were playing a game.
Looking at cars on
another car?
Cars.
Another car?
I'd like a convertible.
Wait, a convertible what?
Like a sports car.
What kind of sports car?
I'm currently looking at Jaguar F-Types.
Oh my gosh. You guys, Camden likes fancy cars. You know, I don't think I could get in your Corvette.
It's very low down.
No, I don't think my neck would allow me. Seriously. Because don't you have to bend your head to get in?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, you got to bend your whole body. But
the Corvette is a convertible, but you have to take the top off yourself manually.
That's what I thought. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's just, I want something where you just press the button. It's really convenient.
Oh, convenient, he says.
I'm just looking, though.
No, I know you. You start looking. You started looking at electric cars, and now you have one. Right?
Yeah, and I love it.
You know, they make electric tractors. But my question to you is, what happens if you run out of juice in the middle of the field?
You're going to have to tow it back to the charger.
Well, normally you would tow with the tractor. It's a tractor, you know. It's just a question.
Yeah,
that's my
you just
question.
Put it in neutral probably, and you just pull it back with the truck or something. Worst case scenario, but just use your brain and don't let the battery die.
I had somebody that was traveling to our guest house get stranded. because they didn't know how to charge their father's electric vehicle. I thought that was kind of
Oh, were they coming from like Bend?
Portland
Oh, wow.
or Seattle. I don't know. They got stuck though. It's pretty funny. I thought it was kind of funny.
Once you charge an electric car once, it's just like, oh, okay, that's really easy. It's just it's literally like plugging in your cell phone or anything. It's like plugging.
Well, they stopped at like a Tesla thing, and I guess they were trying to use the Tesla account, and it has to be, I guess Tesla. How do I want to say this? The person is identified to the car. Like the card that they use has to be attached to the car somehow. It was weird.
Yeah, that is weird. That's a weird Tesla situation. Letting someone drive your Tesla and then having them try to charge it. That could be weird.
It was, and they were here for a week. I mean, they finally figured it all out. I guess Dad had to add them, and what a mess.
Yeah.
What a mess.
But other than that, they're very convenient.
Okay.
I love how mine just charges full every single night at home. It's like having a gas station at home.
Well, yeah, on your electric bill. Okay.
No, so get this. So my electric bill went up by $10, and I drove my car 2,000 miles in a month, and I charged it all at home. And it went up by $10.
Okay, so that's good to know.
It's amazing. Everyone do the math on that.
Everybody do the math. All right. He's trying to convince me to buy an electric car. It's not going to
I've been
happen.
trying to convince everybody.
Okay, so now, we want to dress him. So where did that little ring go? And I'm just showing you this. You guys can do anything you want. You could use a piece of fake leather. You could use a piece of real leather. I want my guy to be fancy. So I'm using a piece of gold ribbon. I just stole this off the other elf. So I'm pulling it super tight. And see, I have the ring on there already. And I would take it in and I would... There's a pin. I would glue this ribbon. So I'm sticking that pin all the way through him. And then I would glue this down. And that would give me my belt. I would probably trim some of this off. So that's how you do his vest. I would still work on these shoulders some more. We're not done yet. Because see, now we have this naked neck up here. Now I cut a piece, and this is at least 18 inches long. This piece of ribbing. So you can either double it, like I did for this one. So this one's been doubled. Okay, and it's gonna go here. And it can either be sewn on around this neck part. You can adjust your gathers. It can be sewn on or it can be glued on. And then I think I put a piece of gold cord around this edge on my old guy. So let me stick this needle in here. It doesn't like, his face is getting fuzzy because I've handled him so much. And if you need to add a little bit more skin tone down in here, not a problem. But we can add gold chains, we can add jewelry, we can do other things. All right, so I have this piece of ribbing, stretchy, and I'm not gonna double this one because it's too small. I want it a wider collar. And I have some thread, doubled, knotted. I'm just gonna put a running stitch in this, in and out, to make this collar. Boy, this is way easier than the needle I used on the first one. I actually went and got the proper needle instead of the one I was using. And we're just gonna keep going in and out. So I made this, I dressed an elf like this last year. And I set him on a reindeer, which we made a reindeer. It was I made a big reindeer for him to sit on. You guys might remember him. Anyways, he was from my holiday bazaars. And like showpiece, and I priced these big ones like this at a higher price because I want them to stay around for a while. Isn't that selfish of me? Because I want them to stay for a while. It's like, okay, hang out for a while because you're really cool. I want to look at you a lot. The first holiday show I did, the first customer walked in and snatched him up at his insane price. So, making these big pieces is lucrative for you. They may hang around a little while, but when the right person comes along, the right person comes along. You know, the big holiday pieces are good because people like to decorate for the holidays. Fancy. And there's a market. You got to know your market. I thought I had priced mine higher than my market. Apparently I didn't. And it always surprises me when something like that sells that fast. I continue to be surprised. The other thing that happens to me is I get this item that I'm all excited about for the holidays, and I'm like, all right, I make a whole bunch of them. So now we have this gathered piece. And we're going to, I'm just going to sew this one on so you can see how to sew it on. So I'm going to fit it around his neck. It does not have to go all the way to the back. We will be able to straighten it around. So let's catch this edge, which is way up here. Actually, I need a little bit more. Give me some more. We're going to catch this little edge. And now I am going to go into the doll. And I am going to pull that together. And not only am I going to do it once, I'm going to do it twice on this edge to make sure I've got it. And let's adjust. Can I move this? I'm going to adjust my gathers to where I like them. So, like I said, you could put some glue under here, like a hot glue gun, or you can stitch it on. And to stitch it on, you're just going to go through your doll, come out the other side, go through, come out. It's random. Let's move his head. So the reason I don't do the face until last is because you can see this guy's getting beat up, but I can see what he kind of looks like. So I know his personality. I'm getting personality. Go in and out. You can go in and out just like you did. Make sure you're going through the felting. You want this attached pretty well. I've got a loop here. Where'd it go? Come on, there you go. And then when you get back to this edge, we're going to knot it off. So that's a little ruffled collar. You don't have to worry about hemming it because it's made out of the ribbing, the knit, like t-shirt knit ribbing. T-shirt knit will work too. It doesn't have to be ribbing. I just like the texture in the ribbing. I'm trying to knot that off. Okay. Oh, all right, buddy. So we're pretty set. So we won't finish his sleeves until his hands are on there. I like his little collar. And I like his little vest. I may felt on this a little bit more, even though it's attached up here. I would undo this and then felt on this a little bit more because this seems a little bit loose. But there you have it. So he's coming along. He's got his shoes. He's got his socks. We need to do hands, and I think next week we will be able to do them. I have to coordinate. We're going to have a guest felter teach you the hands. A guest felter. So when the hands are on, once they're on, we're going to gather this up. Or just tie a piece of ribbon around it so that they're floofy. They're floofy and ruffled. And then after that, we'll do the face. If my felter is not available, we'll do the head. And we'll do the hands last. So I think we have 2 more sessions. So Jackpot Green, this is rib knit or t-shirt knit, whatever you want. You don't have to hem it. It can just be loose. You could do it out of linen or muslin or anything you wanted, actually. Even like a small Christmas print would be cute. If you need supplies, head over to liongate.org or liongatefarm.com. I own that now. It's cool. Make sure you like the video and tell me how you like the guy so far. Tell me how you like this guy so far.
And there's been some people sharing theirs in the group too, so I'll keep doing that.
Yeah, keep sharing them. If you need help, do not hesitate to ask. Our group is a safe place, and we will help you as much as we can. Just remember, your faces don't end at the eyeballs. They have to come out this far. They're oval, not square. So just remember that. Okay.